Miami, a city where the ocean hides secrets and the nights change destinies. Lena stood by the window of her rented apartment on Brickell Avenue, watching the sunrise slowly paint the city gold. This was a different sun, not the one that watched her break apart, not the one that shined while she cried on the cold bathroom floor back in Atlanta. Florida felt different, warmer, saltier, like freedom. She held the cup of coffee close to her chest as if trying to warm not her hands but her heart. Here, I'll start over, she whispered softly to herself. In Atlanta, she left behind years she never wanted to remember, but those years taught her one painful truth: never give your whole heart to people who don't know how to hold it carefully. She loved deeply, honestly, the way people love before they learn that love can destroy. He promised her a future, a family. He promised she was the only one. And then came the messages she accidentally saw on his phone. Other names, other smiles, other nights. But the worst part wasn't the betrayal. The worst part was how calmly he admitted it. "You're too serious, Lena. You want more than I can give." That sentence still lived inside her like broken glass under skin. She wasn't running from her past. She was running toward herself. Florida was her conscious choice. No shared memories. No people who knew her tears. No life where she belonged to someone else. Her new job at a marketing agency wasn't luck. She fought for it. No connections. No favors. Only talent, sleepless nights, and endless work on her portfolio. She wanted to prove first of all to herself that she could survive on her own. On the outside, Lena looked calm, a little ironic, always composed, but inside an ocean. She could laugh while secretly being afraid to get attached. She could flirt without letting anyone close. She could dream, but no longer believed in promises. Her hair always flowed freely in the wind, as if some part of her still wanted life to feel wild and alive. And she still didn't know that very soon someone would breathe in the scent of that hair and realize that happiness smells exactly like her. Tampa, the road. A suitcase filled with more hope than clothes, Max drove toward Miami in an old car that had seen more roads than stability. He loved roads. Roads never betray you. They simply keep moving forward. He was searching for his dream job, but deep inside, he was searching for meaning. At T28, he was already tired of fake corporate promises and phrases like, "We're all family here." He knew what burnout felt like. He knew what it meant to give everything, and here, well, think about it. In Tampa, he left comfort behind, and the terrifying feeling of being stuck. Marketing wasn't just work for him. It was his language, a way to speak to the world. He understood emotions. He knew how to sell not products but feelings. But where he came from, nobody cared about that. "You're too deep for our format," one of his bosses once told him, and somehow, that sentence stayed with him longer than it should have. The Miami offer came strangely at the perfect moment. As if life finally whispered, "Okay, now it's your turn." Max wasn't looking for love, not anymore. Too many times, he had been someone temporary in someone else's life. So he learned not to expect too much, not to dream too loudly, not to get attached, but he still wanted to feel alive instead of simply existing. On the morning before his first day, he stood in front of the mirror for a long time. "Well, man, let's see if this place finally becomes home." He still didn't know Miami would change much more than his career. He still didn't know her name. But the carousel had already started moving. Miami, a glass office, air that still doesn't know it's about to crack. Lena entered the meeting room 10 minutes early. She always arrived early. It gave her the illusion of control. As if life couldn't surprise you if you were already waiting for it. She sat near the window. The ocean was far away, but its presence could still be felt, like temptation, like escape. The door opened. She looked up, and time stumbled. Max walked in calmly, like someone who wasn't afraid anymore, like someone who already knew that if life broke him again, he would survive it. Their eyes met, and something clicked. Not a spark, something deeper, like two magnets suddenly realizing they existed in the same universe. Lena looked away first, not because she was scared, because she instantly understood. This could become dangerous. Max sat across from her. He wasn't openly staring, but he felt her presence physically, like warmth wrapping around him. Someone spoke about numbers, strategies, marketing goals. Neither of them truly listened anymore. Then the manager smiled and said, "Lena, this is Max. You'll be working together on the new project. Together." The word stayed suspended between them. Max turned toward her and smiled, not flirtatiously, not arrogantly, just honestly. Nice to meet you, he said. His voice was deeper than she expected. Calm, the kind of voice belonging to someone who doesn't rush through life. Nice to meet you too, she replied quietly. Their hands touched for only a second, but it was enough. Electricity ran through both of them instantly. They pulled their hands away, almost at the same time, pretending nothing happened. But something did happen, something impossible to ignore. By 9 in the evening, the office floor was nearly empty. The elevators swallowed people one by one. Lights disappeared behind glass windows while Miami outside came alive. Only they remained. Lena slowly removed her blazer and hung it over the chair. For the first time that day, she looked softer, more real. Max noticed immediately, not because he wanted to stare, because he couldn't help feeling her presence. They sat beside each other, not across from each other, and somehow that already felt dangerous. Less than half a meter separated them, but the air between them felt unbearably full. Her perfume was soft, not sweet, not heavy, alive. Max inhaled quietly and instantly lost focus. Focus. It's just work, he reminded himself, but Lena could feel his warmth beside her, steady, strong. The kind of warmth you want to lean into when the world becomes too loud. At one point, he leaned closer to show something on the screen. His hand almost touched hers. Almost. Her heartbeat instantly lost rhythm. You feel this too, don't you? She suddenly whispered. He turned toward her slowly. Their faces were too close now. What exactly? He asked carefully. The tension. He didn't laugh, didn't joke. He answered honestly, yes, one word, and suddenly the room felt even hotter. Around midnight, Lena walked toward the giant window overlooking Miami. The city glowed beneath them like liquid gold. Beautiful, she whispered. Max stepped beside her, close enough for her to feel his breath, but not touching. It's beautiful when there's someone to look at it with, he said softly, and she realized he wasn't talking about the city. Still, she didn't move away. That night, Lena couldn't sleep. She stared at the ceiling, angry at herself. You're doing it again, she whispered. You're feeling again. She remembered how painful trust could become, how easily love could make you lose yourself trying to be enough for someone else. And now, what scared her wasn't Max. What scared her was who she became around him. Alive. Max sat inside his car for almost 10 minutes after leaving the parking garage, hands on the steering wheel, thoughts impossible to silence. You don't get to lose control again, he told himself. He remembered the last time he gave everything to feelings, and how empty he felt afterward. But Lena was different, quiet, deep, real, and somehow that terrified him more than passion itself. The next morning, they met near the coffee machine. Their eyes locked, and this time, neither of them looked away. No words, no touch, but both of them thought the exact same thing. This is no longer just work. The carousel of life was spinning faster now, and somewhere deep inside, both of them already knew there was no turning back anymore. Don't miss part 2, because this story is only beginning.